class, I wanted to do another little video tutorial on how to be looking at ads. So throughout this class, we're going to be looking at advertisement. We are designing ads, we are critiquing them, we are thinking about them. So we need to be looking at them as well. So it's very important that besides starting your design collection, and so a collection of ads and interesting design marketing materials, I want you to be, throughout this class, you're going to have to use those marketing materials and advertisements in order to inspire you, to help you design, to get you thinking more deeply about the design process and how ads and marketing work. So you need to start your design collection, and then for this first assignment, you're going to be writing a creative brief, basically for an ad that already exists. Now, ads that already exist are going to be seen, get this right, in magazines, in free newspapers, things that come to your door or you pick up along your travels, direct marketing or junk mail, things like brochures that you would find in stores and different kind of venues. So you need to be collecting them. And then for this first assignment, the creative brief, as you might have already guessed, that creative briefs are always written before the creative process or before an ad is designed, but we're going to be thinking of kind of a reverse creative brief. So how possibly a creative brief, say for this ad, was thought of, conjured, discussed, written up. So I want you to find an ad. Now, students sometimes complain, don't know where to find ads, but ads are all around us. We walk out the door, there's going to be a multitude of ads around us. If you have the luxury or just have magazines around, find those magazines, steal them, or collect them somehow. That's the wrong word to use, sorry about that. I subscribe to a couple magazines or buy a couple magazines, but there's also free things available, newspapers, like I said, direct or junk mail, brochures, those kind of things. So you need to be looking around them. If you're going to be out in the world, take photos, start a Pinterest board, start just some kind of collection of ads that you find out, bus shelters, transit ads, whatnot, ads that you find out in the world that you find interesting and inspiring for whatever reason. So for this first assignment, be looking at magazines or free newspapers, and just be looking at ads. So ads that grab your attention for whatever reason, be it in this case, the color, the bold, simple font. This ad, I've just marked a few. This I thought was kind of clever with the typography in the trunk of the car. So this integration of imagery and typography. An ad like this next one, it's just a pretty basic, simple ad. Product, big product shot, big bold typography, and then this luxurious, interesting looking hamburger. So that's grabbing our attention. And then ads like this as well. So ads like this are really kind of grabbing our attention with big, bold images and then simple text. And so when you're looking at ads, for whatever reason, kind of be looking at why, or thinking about why they grab your attention. You're going to see a lot of ads like this that are just quite busy and boring and full up and not effective in any way. And we'll kind of discuss that later in the course. But ads like this kind of grab your attention with interesting images, big bold typography, big headlines. Ads like this, which have a lot of information, they're going to grab our attention in different ways, but I think this one really does a good job by having some interesting images, some simple text, and some kind of clever infographics and layout. And then ads like this are pretty basic, big, bold, interesting, eye-catching images. Let me get the camera right. And then just that kind of big, bold, clever little headline, image, copy, so we'll go through like the parts of ad in a later video. But when you're starting your creative brief project, so be looking at ads, looking at how they're designed, looking at the imagery, thinking about the imagery, thinking about how this image pertains to the audience, looking at the headlines here. So own it, that's the headline there. This is the headline. This is a call to action. So how to know what to do after you see this ad. Use this code to get 25% off. So headline, image, call to action, headline, image, call to action somewhere in here, meaning members get deals at these places, phone numbers, not phone numbers, sorry, logos. So those are the things that we're looking to add. So figure out, find an ad that you find interesting that you want to work with. Do not find ads that are kind of fashion based. So ads that are really just pretty pictures of beautiful looking people or objects that really have no content are not going to be something that we really discuss in this course. I mean, this actually is not that thing. So this actually has a big, beautiful image. This has a clear headline and it has some copy there and a call to action, the Caesar stone, and just the logo. So that's a pretty simple, typical ad. But I meant more like ads like, yeah, so this one, it's just a kind of a boring, well, I think it's a boring image, and it's just a logo and then just a little bit of copy. So, I mean, this is much more typical. This is like considered a fashion ad. So even though it's not showing a fashion model, it's a fashion ad in the sense it's just showing the product, like you would see maybe like in a Chanel or fashion ad or any of the other fashion ads, and it's just showing the logo. So there's nothing going on here that we are going to really discuss in this course. So those are just kind of fashion ads. So avoid those, but instead look for ads that are much more have those kind of characteristics that. Let's see here. There's a big one there. So have big bold headlines, those images, and call to actions, and those are going to be the type of ads that we're going to be discussing in this course. So things like, again, things like this one for Prius. So big, bold, eye-catching image, copy, the Toyota Prius with impressive cargo space. You can see kind of a list of all the things that go into this cargo space or this trunk, and then there is some small copy that tells us, further explains in more detail about what is being advertised. This one does not have a call to action, it just has actually the tagline. So the tagline is different from the headline. The tagline is that little kind of extra thing that kind of goes with the brand. It is not the headline, which is the big bold type that we see at the top of headline, or so the top of ads, like this one. This is a headline. But we'll go into more detail about the parts of an ad in later in the course. But just for the sake of the creative brief, please go out in the world, get a free newspaper, source the magazines that you currently have, go find something, or go out into the world and look at bus shelter ads, transit ads, billboards. There are multitude of sources, and there's ads all around us every day, so you will not have a problem going out in the real world and finding ads as opposed to just sitting on the computer and looking at digital or online ads.